The rain had stopped only minutes earlier, but the road still wore its aftermath like an open wound. Thick brown puddles lined the narrow street behind the shopping district, where delivery trucks passed without slowing and the air smelled of wet earth and exhaust. Lena knelt near the curb, scrubbing the last streaks of grime from the cafe's outdoor tiles. Her sleeves were rolled up, her hands raw inside worn yellow gloves. It wasn't her job description exactly, but when you were paid by the hour and needed every minute, you didn't argue. You cleaned what was dirty and hoped tomorrow would be kinder. She had almost finished when the white SUV appeared. The engine purred smoothly, too smoothly for this road. The tires cut through the puddle like a blade. The splash came fast. Cold, heavy mud struck Lena's chest and face, soaking her uniform, streaking her hair, filling her eyes. She gasped, stumbling back as laughter exploded from the open window of the car. Bright, careless laughter. Inside the SUV sat a woman wrapped in luxury, designer sunglasses, red lipstick untouched by worry. She leaned out just enough to enjoy the moment, her mouth open in amusement as Lena stood frozen, dripping in filth. "Oh my God," the woman laughed. "Did you see that?" The car slowed, not to apologize, but to savor it. Lena wiped her eyes, humiliation burning hotter than anger. She said nothing. She never did. Words hadn't helped her much in life. Silence was safer. The woman smirked one last time and pressed the accelerator. That should have been the end of it. But fate had been standing quietly on the sidewalk. Across the street, beneath the awning of a closed bookstore, an older man watched everything. He hadn't raised his voice or stepped forward. He didn't need to. His gaze followed the white SUV as it disappeared into traffic, his expression unreadable. Beside him stood a young boy holding his hand. "Why did she laugh, Grandpa?" the boy asked softly. The man exhaled. "Because some people confuse comfort with superiority." He reached into his coat pocket and took out his phone. Lena spent her lunch break in the cafe restroom, trying to wash the mud from her uniform. The stains didn't come out. They never did. She stared at herself in the mirror. At the woman who worked 2 jobs, who sent money home, who still believed dignity didn't depend on wealth. When she returned to work, her manager frowned but said nothing. Customers rarely noticed the cleaner. Until the next morning. A black sedan pulled up outside the cafe, polished to a mirror shine. The driver stepped out first, opening the rear door with practiced respect. Then the man from yesterday emerged. He entered the cafe calmly, greeting the staff by name. Names Lena hadn't known he knew. The room shifted subtly, like air before a storm. Conversations hushed. Phones slipped back into pockets. The cafe owner rushed forward, nervous and smiling too hard. "Mr. Hale, what an honor." The man raised a hand. "I'm here for her." He looked directly at Lena. Her heart skipped. Panic fluttered in her chest. Had she done something wrong? He approached, his voice gentle but firm. "I saw what happened yesterday." The room held its breath. "I want to apologize," he continued, "not because I caused it, but because too many people think silence means no one is watching." He turned slightly, so everyone could hear. "The woman in that SUV is the regional director of one of my companies." Gasps rippled through the cafe. "She laughed at you," he said, eyes never leaving Lena. "I did not." Lena's hands trembled. "She will no longer represent anything I stand for." Later that afternoon, the story spread faster than rainwater down a gutter. The director had been dismissed. Not quietly. Publicly. Respect, Mr. Hale said, was not optional, it was foundational. But he wasn't finished. A week later, Lena sat in an office with walls of glass and sunlight she wasn't used to. Mr. Hale sat across from her, no longer a distant figure but a man with kind eyes and careful words. My grandson saw what happened, he said. I want him to grow up believing that how you treat the unseen matters. He slid a folder across the desk. Inside was an offer, not charity, not pity. A training program. A steady position. Education support. Growth. I can't erase what happened, he said. But I can decide what follows it. Lena swallowed hard. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen, not as a victim, not as a lesson, but as a person. Outside, the streets were dry. The puddles gone. But somewhere, someone had learned that laughter at another's pain echoes longer than expected, and that sometimes, the most powerful eyes are the ones you never notice watching.